Good morning, and I am just thrilled and overjoyed that you are joining us again. We are just delighted to be with you. I have a friend of mine to share with you again today. Last week we were blessed by missionary Valerie Brown, and this week we have two people that are going to come to you. And the first one I want to present to you is just a woman of God she's really from East Tennessee, but she's by way, but she's in North Carolina now, and just a fabulous mind for the gospel, and just a beautiful woman of God. I believe she's going to bless you. She served as vice president of Mason Fellowship while I was serving as president, and we got a chance to get to know each other, and she's just wonderful. I want to introduce to you missionary Marva Williams. Missionary Marva Williams. We're talking about comebacks. I want you to know that your comeback is happening now. You're getting ready to bounce back. There's something getting ready to happen for you that's going to launch you into the next level. And it may have looked bad for you. They may have pushed you down. They may have thrown you down as hard as they could. But I want you to know that you're going to bounce back up and be ready to take on the world, because God is on your side and He is in control. So enjoy her, hear her, and I'll see you again later on this week. Bye-bye.
He brought me out of the mire and clay. He placed my feet on a rock to stay. I've got a song in my heart today, a song of redemption, hallelujah. Just a few thoughts on spiritual healing from traumatic experience. Our thoughts today are coming from Job 42. We know that Job went through a lot of stuff with his friends and in his own personal life. Everybody has an opinion about your situation, but do they really know what God is doing in your life? Not always. And we find that out in the story of Job. So let's take a look. First thing I'll say is that no one gets to define what's traumatic for you. No one else has the right to interpret your story for you. Friends might have insight, but we see what happened with Job's friends and their insight. So always take it to the Lord. Pray about it. Ask Jesus to be a part of your story and your healing. That's a great place to begin. Next, I would say, remember that your situation was bigger than you all along. Job found that out. But your situation is the same way. God is doing something. God is always in control. And you have to let go of what people could have or should have. And even the fact that maybe you could have been in control yourself. Some things are just bigger than you are. And realizing that you may not have had control in the situation is part of the healing process. And realizing that people that you thought would be there or thought would support you or thought would come through, woulda, shoulda, coulda, they're all just doing the best that they can at any given moment in their own life. So you kind of have to let that be a part of your healing, to realize who's in control. God is in control. Also, stop pretending to be healed. One of the most hurtful things you can do is to pretend to be where you're not. A child takes a broken piece of a toy to the parent in hopes of it being fixed, being put back together. You don't take it to someone to fix it after you've already fixed it. There are some things that God has to fix in you. The love of Jesus Christ has to provide that healing for you. Stop pretending to be healed. When you stop pretending to be healed, then you can be honest with God, because guess what? You can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all of the time. But you never fool God. You never fool God. God already knows that you're broken and in need of healing. Once you surrender the pieces to Him, you'll feel much better, and the healing process can begin. The more you pretend to be healed, you're just really making it a lot worse than it has to be. As Shakespeare would say, surely thou doth protesteth too much. Pretending to be healed it's just kind of a flashing sign that you're still not healed. Healing takes time, like an open flesh wound takes time to heal, and you can't keep picking at it. You have to just let time heal it. The love of Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit of God, is there to be with you through that healing process. Allow it to take place. And never let anyone else's opinion about your situation stop you from being healed. Job was healed, and guess what? He had to go pray for his friends who had misspoke for God. Imagine that. All of that time, his friends who he trusted, who he thought were there for him, they misspoke, and he ended up having to pray for them. What an amazing thing to realize that not only can you reclaim your story, but you can also be the hope and grace and healing in another person's story. That's how you'll know when you're on your way to healing, because you can then be part of the healing in someone else's journey. I hope that you have a blessed day, and remember, God can do miraculous things with our broken pieces. Be healed, be delivered, and be set free.